But if I had to like dig for it, that's another thing. So it's been situations where I was outside and someone asked me for money and I said no, I don't have it. But if I went to go get change and I already have it in my hand and I don't have to dig for it, then I'll give it to them. So for me, it really does depend on the scenario, and if I feel safe to do so, and if I'm feeling generous that day. So I'm gonna actually move on. I know that we have caller 202. Are you available to speak? Okay, area code 202. Okay, and what about area code 707? And
Sorry, I was on mute.
oh no problem. And can you just let everyone know your name?
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I'm calling from the Bay Area.
And thank you, Kat, for calling in. And I want to ask you the same question I just asked Kay. Do you think that it makes a difference if a stranger asks for your help? Do you think it makes a difference if they're a male versus if they're a female?
So because like it depends on the age like both ladies were talking about, and when it comes to these kind of situations, I do honestly would automatically give a female money, especially if it's an elderly or young woman, because us women, we can't fight, or like maybe not all of us, but we don't have like, because we're a female, it's hard for us to like fend for ourselves at like in situations like if it's a stranded area. As far as men, they know how to, they can figure things out because they're a man. And I know I sound sexist with this, but when you see like a lost woman and she just doesn't know, she's helpless. Unlike if it's a guy has to be manly enough to be able to fend for himself. So I would totally help a woman. As far as a man, if it was like maybe disabled or a guy that's like probably mentally ill that won't kill me, I would help him.
Okay. And what does it depend, or would it make a difference if the male was a certain age, if he was young versus old or middle age?
If it was the younger guy, I would totally help him if he was like young, and if it was an older man, I would say like in his 50s or 60s. Because when I see elderly people, I automatically feel like I need to help them, especially like when I see them at a bus stop or at any place and no one's helping them. It's just a reflex for me to help older people.
Okay. And that's fair. I think a lot of people tend to care for the elderly just because they deem them or view them as being more fragile and maybe not able to do as much for themselves as well.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
And yeah, I agree. And I'm gonna ask you, Tawanda, if a friend asks you a question where you felt the need to give a suggestion, and then a stranger asks you the same exact question, do you give your opinion or do you mind your business?
Okay, now repeat that again. I didn't understand it.
So a friend asks you a question, and the question that the friend asks you, you felt a strong need to give your suggestions and your criticism of the situation. But a stranger asks you the same exact question, do you then give the stranger the same opinion and suggestion that you gave your friend, or do you mind your business?
That is a good question. And honestly, first of all, in reference to what I tell the friend, it really depends on the friend. You know, again, I may have an opinion about a lot of things, but sometimes, you know, you have just wasted conversations with people and it goes over their head, et cetera, et cetera. So it depends in reference to the friend. And with the stranger, I don't really know the stranger. I don't have any ties to the stranger. And sometimes I've always had the best success in communication with completely strangers because we're going to just go on about our business. So I would probably take time and give them more of the, you know, the advice or my 2 cents or whatever, because they'll probably take it a whole lot more serious than the person that I know, depending on who that person I know is.
Okay. And
let me just comment. I've always had an issue. I don't really want to mind my business with the compassion that I really have for people. It's really hard for me to look the other way. However, over the last few years, because how the world has changed, sometimes even when you don't really want to, you have to because your life can depend on it. But if I see wrong, if I see harm, I have a problem with that, and I want to do something about it. I want to be able to help. But like I said, I don't want to put myself in harm's way unless I have to.
Okay, and I can understand, especially a lot of people are not going to put themselves in harm's way for a complete stranger. Sometimes I think you just do whatever naturally comes to you. So if you're compelled to take action, I think that's what most people do, or they either fight the urge not to take action because they don't want to then put their own life in danger.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask Kay the same question. If a friend asks you a question where you felt the need to give your suggestion, and then a stranger asks you the same question, do you give your opinion or do you mind your business?
I mean, if they're asking, then sure, I'll give a suggestion. Why not?
Okay, and then you're not worried about hurting their feelings or how they react, being that they're a complete stranger?
I mean, they ask. Sometimes, like once in a while, I'll give a disclaimer, like, are you sure you want my opinion? I'm super blunt. You might not like it. And then, if they say, yeah, give it to me, then I do. It's on them.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you said your opinion comes with a disclaimer.
Right.
Okay, that's honest and fair. And let me ask you, Kat, if a friend asks you a question where you felt the need to give your suggestion, and a stranger asks you the same question, do you give your opinion or do you mind your business?
It depends on the situation. If I was in a clothing store and a stranger asked for my opinion, I'm not afraid of doing it. But if it was some inappropriate opinion, whether it was something to deal with sex or stuff that you shouldn't be asking a stranger, I would not give my opinion. I would just mind my own business and ignore them. But if it's a simple thing hey, what do you think about this shirt or this outfit, or should I get it, or what is it I'll give a stranger my advice on that, but it really just depends if it's appropriate or not.
Okay. And so what is the scenario where you think that it would be inappropriate to give your opinion?
If they're asking me something that's either sexual, something that has to do with if they want to discuss politics or sexual stuff or anything along those lines, I would not give my opinion, especially if I don't know the person,
Okay, and that's fair. I don't think I would give my opinion. Yes, go ahead, Kay.
Can I modify my answer? Thank you. I'd like to modify my answer in light of her answer. If someone's asking me something inappropriate, first of all, my opinion is that's none of your business.
Right.
Yeah, that's my opinion. So I would tell them, I don't really feel like discussing that right now. So, yeah.
And that's fair, because I wouldn't want to talk about sexual things with a complete stranger. Especially, I think at that point I'll wonder if they're hitting on me. So
right.
I'm gonna ask you, Kay. Was there ever a scenario where you wish that you mind your own business?
Is there ever a scenario? I mean, there have been scenarios where I wish I had kept my mouth shut after the fact.
Okay. So I guess that would fall under mind your own business. So what happened in that situation?
I mean, honestly, I can only give a really general answer because it's happened so many times. I don't even have
That's
a single scenario to give you. Yeah, my constant work in progress. My constant work in progress is my filter. So there you go.
Okay. So in that situation, did it turn out negatively because of your bluntness?
Oh yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And thank you for your response. And I'm going to ask the same question to Kat. Was there ever a scenario where you wish that you mind your own business?
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. Was there ever a scenario or a situation where you wish that you mind your own business?
100. Yes, I've come across it so many times, especially when my friends would put me in the middle of a situation. And let me just give you an example because I don't want to use any names. So I did have a friend that was going through a divorce, and so there was a time, like, I was literally in the middle of their argument, and so I was like, I can leave and everything, and the thing is, like, when somebody tells me to put in my 2 cents or, like, how I really feel, I will go all out. Because I have the tendency, like, to hold things in, especially, like, when I shouldn't be saying something. But once somebody tells me, it's okay, Kat, let me know how you feel, I literally, like, told them, like, I was literally the mediator, like, a therapist. And so that was the moment I wish I would have minded my own business. And then, like, it all, like, it piled up, and I ended up getting hit on the stick. Well, not hypothetically speaking, but, like, that's what happened. Like, it was like a slap on the face because I was involved, like, during, like, all of the, like, the divorce and stuff. It was sad.
Okay. And so at this particular scenario, did you wish that maybe you, like, did something different, or did you wish that maybe you think that is anything that you maybe could have did different? So you think you could have said something different, or just completely stayed out of it?
I think I could have just stayed completely out of it because, like, at some point I had to, like, take someone's side. And obviously because it was one of my close girlfriends and her husband, like, worked with me, I just felt like I felt bad I had to choose a side. And obviously if it's me, like, I'm going to go for, like, my girlfriend's side, not the guy's side, because it's just me because I'm a female. But I really wish I wasn't part of it, yeah.
Okay. And yeah, and I can see that being a bad situation, especially once you do say something, it's like you can't take it back. So it's like they already know that that's how you truly feel, and it's just you gotta move on from it, I guess. And I'm gonna ask the same question, Tawanda. Was there ever a scenario where you wish that you would have minded your own business?
I'm going to really say that probably be a situation just kind of like what Kat said. I've had situations in the past where I may have shared something with a friend and they just blew it all out of proportion and used my name in the process. And I definitely had a problem with that. So that would be what I would share. Like, oh, my gosh, you weren't supposed to mention my name. Goodness.
So do you wish that maybe you told them before, like ahead of time, like, you know, I'm giving this piece of information, but don't mention me?
Oh, no. If I told someone something, I swore them to secrecy before I even revealed it. It was just so detrimental that they could not contain it, and they end up telling where they got the information from. And that's been a long time ago, but that taught me some very valuable lessons, and if anyone ever does that, I will never tell them anything again, regardless of what it is. Because, again, you can get somebody killed like that.
Right. And I'm going to ask Chanel. Is Chanel on the line?
I am.
Okay, Chanel, thank you for calling in. Was there ever a scenario where you wish that you would have minded your own business?
Maybe a few.
Okay, and
go ahead.
I'm sorry. What was maybe one scenario, like how did that scenario turn out, if you don't want to describe exactly or go into detail, but how did you feel about this scenario and how did it turn out for you?
I had a scenario where a longtime best friend discovered that her husband was cheating. I had come into the knowledge of that fact maybe a few years before, but at the same time, I discovered that the lady had been messing around for years prior to marriage. And so I guess because it was a known secret, I was just coming into the knowledge of it. I kind of stayed away from it. And I'm not really sure what it is, maybe because that particular friend is the type, I don't know if you all have friends like this, but she's the type of friend that if I don't like somebody, you don't like them.
Okay.
If,